Thought experiments on the meaning of life. Introduction. What is the meaning of life? Philosophers, theologians, and thinkers across centuries have grappled with this question, proposing answers ranging from religious doctrines to existentialist ideas to nihilistic perspectives. Some argue that meaning is derived from external forces, such as a deity or an overarching cosmic purpose, while others believe meaning is a personal construct, shaped by our choices and perceptions. One way to probe this profound question is through thought experiments, mental exercises that challenge our intuitions and force us to examine our beliefs from different angles. The following 5 thought experiments are designed to explore various dimensions of life's meaning, questioning the nature of experience, identity, suffering, and purpose. Thought experiment. 1. The infinite observer. Premise. Imagine a being that has existed since the beginning of time and will persist indefinitely. This entity, the infinite observer, has seen every event in human history, every emotion experienced, and every thought conceived. It has watched civilizations rise and fall, art and philosophy flourish, and individuals live and die. It has witnessed both the heights of human creativity and the depths of human cruelty. The infinite observer has no direct stake in human affairs, but perceives everything without bias. It has seen countless individuals search for meaning, struggle against mortality, and strive for greatness. Yet to this being, every individual moment is but a fleeting instance in an unending expanse of time. Questions to consider. If such a being could communicate with us, what might it say about the meaning of life? Would it affirm that human experiences carry significance, or would it see them as insignificant in the grand scheme of time? Does meaning exist only because we are finite? If we were immortal, would our actions have the same depth, or would meaning dissolve in the face of infinite existence? Could the search for meaning itself be the very thing that makes life meaningful? If the infinite observer is incapable of searching for meaning because it knows everything, could it be argued that humans are in a more fortunate position? Implications. This thought experiment raises the idea that meaning may depend on limitation. Perhaps the finitude of life, the fact that we have limited time and must make choices within that span, gives weight to our actions. If we had forever, would urgency and purpose vanish? Would we still value love, knowledge, and beauty, or would they become mundane in an endless existence? Thought experiment 2. The cosmic mirror premise. Suppose every conscious being is unknowingly part of a grand cosmic experiment. Whenever you die, you are reincarnated as another person at a different point in history or in another possible reality. However, you are never aware of your past lives, and each experience feels fresh and unique. This cycle continues indefinitely, meaning that every action you take ultimately affects a future version of yourself. The person you are cruel to today might in a different life be you. The suffering you ignore might one day be yours to endure. Questions to consider. If this were true, how would it change the way we behave toward others? Would it lead to a more compassionate and ethical world, knowing that every action we take will be experienced from the other side in another life? If we accept this idea, does it suggest that the meaning of life is found in the interconnectedness of all beings? Is meaning created through relationships and empathy, rather than through individual pursuits? If every person is actually just another version of yourself in a different life, do concepts like justice and morality gain a deeper significance? Implications. This experiment suggests that meaning might be found not in individual identity, but in the broader web of consciousness that unites us all. If every life is ultimately ours to experience, then kindness, empathy, and fairness are not just moral obligations, but acts of self-preservation. Thought experiment. 3. The dream architect. Premise. You are given the ability to construct your own perfect dream world, a virtual reality indistinguishable from actual existence. You can design it however you want, with endless pleasure, beauty, and fulfillment. However, once you enter this world, you will forget that it is an illusion. The question arises, would you choose to enter this world, knowing that you would never know the difference? If meaning in life is about fulfillment and happiness, then shouldn't the answer be yes? But if meaning requires authenticity, does that mean an artificially constructed paradise is inherently meaningless? Questions to consider. If you could craft a world free of suffering, would it be a meaningful existence, or does meaning require struggle and hardship? If you knew that your world was an illusion but could not remember that fact once inside it, would it matter? Is ignorance bliss, or is there value in knowing the truth? Would meaning exist independently of suffering and struggle? Or does the real and unpredictable nature of existence itself provide the foundation for meaning? Implications. This thought experiment forces us to consider whether meaning is derived from pleasure and fulfillment or from the authenticity of experience. If we reject the dream world, does that mean we believe suffering and hardship are necessary for meaning? Or does it simply mean that truth is more valuable than illusion? Thought experiment 4. The silent universe premise. Imagine a future where humanity has vanished. No trace of human civilization remains, no history, no memory, no consciousness to reflect on what was. The universe continues on, stars burning and galaxies colliding, but without any sentient beings to witness it. Questions to consider in such a scenario. Does life ever truly matter? If meaning depends on consciousness to perceive it, then meaning perishes with the last observer. Does meaning exist independently, encoded in the fundamental structure of reality, or is it purely a human invention? If life was the only source of meaning, does the absence of life mean the absence of meaning? Or did meaning never exist in the first place? Implications. This thought experiment challenges us to consider whether meaning is intrinsic to the universe or solely the result of human perception. If meaning depends entirely on human existence, then its disappearance suggests meaning is subjective and temporary. But if meaning is fundamental to the universe, then perhaps life and consciousness are not the sole arbiters of significance. Thought experiment 5. The oracle's question premise. You meet a being of incomprehensible intelligence, an oracle that knows the ultimate answer to the meaning of life. However, before revealing the answer, it warns you that once you know it, your life will change forever. You may find it liberating, terrifying, or meaningless. Questions to consider. Would you choose to hear the answer? And if you do, what kind of answer could possibly satisfy? Would knowing the answer make life worth living? Or would the mystery itself be more important than the solution? If meaning is discovered rather than created, does that make life richer or emptier? Implications. This experiment forces us to confront the idea that the search for meaning may be more valuable than the answer itself. Perhaps the journey, the struggle, and the questioning are what give life its richness. Conclusion. Each of these thought experiments challenges different perspectives on meaning, existence, and our place in the universe. Whether meaning is subjective or objective, fleeting or eternal, personal or universal, these dilemmas invite us to question what it truly means to live. Perhaps the answer to life's meaning is not in a single definitive truth, but in the process of seeking, questioning, and experiencing the world.